Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the Confused Yorkshireman podcast, where myself, George, my colleagues here, Frank and Ben, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Frank.
I'm Ben.
Yeah, Frank and Ben, like I said.
Yeah.
In this podcast, we're going to just ask each other 3 random questions that we've thought of and just see where it goes from there. So, I'll be kicking it off today with my first question. First and only question, this podcast. But what do you guys think of zoos? Are they good? Are they bad? Or are they just meh? So would you like to kick us off with this one, Ben? What's your opinion?
Well, I think there's quite a few pros and cons to zoos. I feel like for the pros, it educates the public a lot on the animals, and there's a lot of research going on. That just
I
helps.
remember school trips at zoos, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't feel like I was very educated at the school trips on a zoo. It felt like a day off.
Oh man, yeah, that's because it kind of was. Not gonna lie, you just got to walk around with people. It was great.
Yeah.
Like, you just walked around, you chatted shit all day, and like you had to write. Ooh, we saw a rhino. It had 4 legs. Like you don't really, unless you're reading the plaques everywhere, you don't really get all.
Yeah, I remember when I were on a school trip to the zoo, and I literally just sat there on a bench, just talking to my friends. Like that's what we did for day. We just sat on a bench in like the eaty place, the diner. Just,
Man, zoo food is so fucking expensive. Like what?
I don't think I've ever had zoo food apart from when I was there, but it was like bought by school.
Well, yeah, but like whenever I've gone with like family and stuff like that, when I was little, I was like, why aren't we getting like the burgers or anything like that? Then when I grew up and saw the prices on the burgers and understood what that money was, I'm like, oh no, that's why we're not getting the burgers. Nah, fam, I'm bringing sandwiches. Like,
My
fuck
family's
this.
poor. We can't get burgers.
Well, it was more just like it's like fucking ridiculous amounts. And bearing in mind, I'm one of 4 kids, and then so say my dad's bringing me.
Oh yeah.
Back then, it was my dad, my mum, and then because of generally the rest of my family was showing up, so my cousins and like stuff like that would be showing up as well. So that's like 8, 10 people. That's a fucking shitload of very expensive, very small burger.
I'll take you to the zoo and I'll get you a burger.
Ooh, what a sugar daddy! Are we allowed in zoos?
Burger's gonna be good.
I don't know.
I wasn't known for the food.
Where do zoo burgers get the meat from? I'm assuming not the zoo.
I'm assuming they just order.
Plantation,
They do different flavors of burgers with different animals.
No, they don't. I'm assuming they don't cook
this is
the
rhino
fucking animal.
burger. This is the tiger burger.
I mean,
you see, we're laughing about this because we assume it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, that's kind of fucked up.
I mean, if they advertised it, just think how many more people would go to the zoos.
I think about how many people would
animals.
Yeah.
Because I don't go to zoos. The last like 3 times I've been to a zoo, I've not eaten food at all. I've just walked around and looked at the animals.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the point of going to the zoo? You don't go to eat food.
Well, depends what sort of person you are. But I like to see the animals. I always like every zoo I go to. I always like seeing the otters, just because I like otters. Have you heard an otter that make really cool sounds? So it's a bit like a bee. It's like a bzzz, bzzz. They make a really weird.
I've never ever heard an otter before.
Oh, they've got it at the. I'm gonna double check the name of it. I think it's just called the Yorkshire Wildlife Museum in Doncaster. They've got right. The otter enclosure for like 3 otters is like the size of a tiger enclosure. It's massive. It's got like a little lake in it. It's great.
Was that poor
Yorkshire
tiger?
Wildlife Park.
Imagine being like a full fucking tiger, right, and seeing the 3 otters of the same amount of space as you. You're like,
well, a tiger won't fuck with an otter.
A tiger would definitely fuck with an otter.
Otter's a savage.
A tiger would fuck up an otter.
Yeah, but look at it. The giant otters as well.
That's big. How big is a giant otter?
Big. They are giant.
Did you know there's
Skyrim?
In Irish mythology, there's a giant otter that's like 6 foot tall.
Is that? Man, I love.
How do you know that?
I love myths that are just a big animal.
Yeah. It's
Like
Island Fish.
giant, like if you think about it, giants are like so unoriginal as a concept, right? It's like it's a person, right? But they're big.
If
They
we were
are
in
big.
a fantasy land, do you think we put giants in a zoo?
I think that's. It depends on if they're intelligent enough. Because if
Yeah.
they're like sapient, that's fucked up.
But they
You
might
don't
be
put.
just as intelligent as monkeys. Because monkeys are quite intelligent.
Well, that's true, but like, if they're about monkey level intelligence, then I guess we would have them in zoos. But also, how much is a giant going to eat? That's a lot. Oh
What do
god, they'd be so.
giants eat?
The bones of Englishmen, I believe.
Why only Englishmen?
I don't know. Ask the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. He could smell the bones of Englishmen or something like that. Was it the bones or blood? Oh, I can't remember.
I
think it's blood.
but
But he said he was going to grind the bones into the bread or something, which is like, just use flour, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
But do bones smell?
I've never smelled a bone. Like, I've
Hmm.
never gone
Okay.
out and actively
Should we get back
sniffed.
onto topic?
I'm
We've
just
got that to do.
I'm just reading about the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. They've got a new
Yeah.
like enclosure bit that's coming this year. The Atlantic
Ooh.
Forest. They've got
Good
bush
stuff.
dogs, lowland
My
tarpon,
camera's gone off at a
not
weird angle, so I'm just gonna reset that.
lowland tapir, and maned wolf. Oh, they look good. We should go to the zoo sometime, guys.
So you've already decided zoos are good. That's
I
what
mean,
you've
I
decided.
like zoos, but I don't.
I think it depends on the zoo because some zoos are better than others in terms of
The
their
animal welfare.
yeah.
Well, it's the tiger point. It's the tiger point of the sort of when tigers are in these enclosures. A lot of the time, they are just pacing constantly, just because they're bored.
Yeah.
And they're used to having this huge area to walk around in that they would like look for food and sort of own this territory, and they just don't have that. They get like incredibly bored, which and a lot of times because tigers are solitary creatures, so they don't like hanging around with other tigers for like all their fucking lives. They'll still meet up on occasion, you know. They still have that slight social interaction. But a lot of the time, the tigers in zoos, they never get any interaction at
Well,
all.
there's
Mm.
some enclosures that have like multiple tigers in the same one, or they'll have them
That's-
connected and then they open up a gate every now and again so they
yeah,
can go
and
through.
those are the good ones. But like, sometimes there just isn't. Like sometimes a place will just have one
Mm.
tiger, and you're like,
You have to remember that tigers are also quite endangered as well,
yeah,
and we need zoos to protect them. And
that's true. Or we could stop killing them in mass numbers in the
Well,
wild.
you
they,
got to
they
think
do
the more
help
we.
release the animals back in the wild from the zoos.
But that's true. But a lot of the animals that like end up like getting raised up in a zoo, they can't like get released back just because they don't know what they're fucking doing out there.
Well,
Like
they've
they're
still
not
got their
released.
instincts. They're still animals. They're still
That's
primal.
true, but like a lot of the animals that you've got that raised in captivity, if you then release them back into the wild, they don't know how to get an antelope, or well, whatever the fuck tigers hunt in the wild. You know what I mean? There?
Okay.
Antelopes would not be good in
That's
the
a very
forest.
specific thing to be
I
hunting.
I was thinking lions. Like lions eat antelopes, tigers eat antelopes. Like antelopes would not live in a
They're in like
forest.
different parts of the world.
That's true, but they're big
Tigers are in
packs.
India, lions are in Africa.
Not all tigers are in India. They are spread across different bits. Are there some tigers?
Right, it depends what tiger we're talking about.
That's true. They hunt Indian elephants. That's another Indian animal I know about.
Would they hunt elephants? Tigers?
I mean, that'd be pretty
I'd be
rad.
pretty scared.
That'd be pretty. Like, I'm thinking a group of tigers could take down an elephant. We're getting into animal fights again. Let's not get into this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's what all zoos need to do: have animal fights. Oh,
I feel like
that's a
that would
joke.
be the epitome of
Epitome.
of the epitome of animal cruelty would be just fight pits because we're not the Romans.
But what if we were the Romans?
If we were the Romans, then we would probably be dead by 40.
Yeah, but you might enjoy your life.
Maybe I would, George. Maybe I fucking would.
But yeah, going back to that releasing to releasing from captivity or whatever it is. It's one of those things like as we change the world more and more and destroy these environments that these animals live in, if we use zoos to provide a new environment or simulate an environment that they grow up in, maybe like Jurassic Park, like a big. Do you know like they have those big biodomes that has its own
You mean a
biosphere?
safari?
Yeah, like a safari,
Okay.
Well, 'cause if you think about it, they're already
like an
technically
open air
doing.
museum sort of thing.
They're already technically doing that with parts of the savannah. Because it's weird to think like there's no real wild areas left in the world. Like if you think about it, as in like humans are everywhere,
Hmm.
and the thing that keeps the wild, we are protecting the wild from humans now. We were initially building gates and walls and fences to keep animals out. We don't do that anymore. We do it to keep them in. Like even when you think of a wild place, where do you think? You think the savannah, you think the middle of the jungles and stuff like that. But the only reason those places still exist is because people are actively stopping other people from just destroying them. Like the jungles are getting cut down at insane rates. The Amazon, in particular, is being completely decimated. The savannah is being constantly patrolled by people actively fighting poachers. Like there's people out there constantly keeping an eye out for poachers. There's
Yeah,
no
but
wild
going on to
places
poachers
anymore.
there, if they're in captivity, say like a rhino that's been dehorned, because they do hunt rhinos because the horns are worth
Yeah.
thousands to make
Yeah.
like medicine and stuff. But if
Well,
they're in it,
medicine.
well, they sell them for something. I don't know what.
It's sort of like Chinese herbal remedies and stuff like that.
Well,
I
that's
believe.
medicine, isn't it?
Well, it's like medicine in the same way that like, oh, you have a headache, I'm gonna fucking cut a hole in your skull is medicine.
These essential herbs.
Yeah.
Oils.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna rub essential oils on my balls, and then I won't be sterile anymore. That's like that's like the
Yeah.
that is that kind of medicine.
But as I was saying, what was I saying?
Oh, no, what were you saying?
If
About poachers.
Rhinos dehorned in
Yeah,
captivity.
if these rhinos are being put into captivity in a zoo where they have food, everything they need to survive, at least they're not being hunted by people and killed. Because I can't see many poachers walking into a zoo with a gun, shooting the animal, and then driving out of the zoo with the animal. So at least
That's
they
true,
offer
but
that safety for
Yeah.
the animals.
That's true, but it's the safety of a cage.
Well, you're not going to like me saying this, but what about humans?
What, we put humans in a cage?
Don't you feel like you're just in a cage?
No, I can leave my house, George. You know what a tiger can't do? It can't just walk out of its enclosure and go for a light stroll down the canal. Like, because
But you're saying that you're locking up all these animals in a cage, but some zoos do have good enclosures.
yeah,
So
they got
if
good.
we could make that the standard for every zoo and
Yeah.
give good conditions, then it would be good for the animals.
Yeah, but
The problem is that there's loads of zoos that don't have those conditions and they're too small, not clear enough, or some of them in
Also-
conflict zones.
that's true, and also a lot of zoos are for-profit organizations, and therefore have a incentive to not keep these animals in where they need to be, because having the correct enclosure space is expensive, not just in terms of the land area you need to be able to make sure that they're getting the correct food, you need to make sure that they're getting the correct sort of like medical attention, stuff like that. It's very expensive. But
Have you guys seen The Tiger King on Netflix?
of course I have.
It's on my list, but
How have you not watched Tiger King?
I don't know.
It was like
Everyone's
such
been
a
hyping it up.
It's less
It's
about
like,
the tigers and more about what's his face. But
Joe Exotic,
Joe Exotic, yeah. But
the wonderful man.
when you see the enclosure there, and it's literally like this big iron cage that they just keep the tigers in, and then they bring them out every now and again to put them on display for an audience or things like that.
Yeah.
Like the tigers look happy enough, but it just feels cruel.
Can you tell what a tiger's emotions are by looking at them?
I am not good with emotions.
I didn't realize you could cast speak with animals, George.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You can tell when something looks calm rather than.
What's the difference between looking calm and it looking bored out of its fucking mind.
Okay,
He is.
yeah, but
Oh,
at least it's not in
Dead.
danger.
That okay, I guess. If I was kept in a small cage and was being brought out every once in a while for Americans to point and laugh at least I'm not in danger. But I would be like quite bored.
Yeah, the more I think about zoos, the more I kind of hate them.
It's
But I see them more as a future where we've got to preserve not a
Yeah,
zoo but land for animals
yeah,
that
but you do
maybe
have to.
humans can interact with, but
There
it's
is-
going to have to
well, you know,
be.
like I was saying, that we're destroying all their habitats.
Yeah.
I think having zoos and letting people see these animals in person, they get more of an emotional connection to all these animals, and so they make more of an effort for conservation efforts and like donate to the charities and stuff that helps preserve these lands.
All those
'Cause it's
charities when
different seeing an animal on a screen than it is to go and seeing them in person.
I want to say those charities when I were a kid, when it said adopt a tiger, I genuinely thought it meant you got to buy
Keep
a
it.
tiger.
Yeah, I adopted a dolphin.
Dolphin! How's your
Yeah.
dolphin? How does it fit in your garden? You've not got a pond.
I don't think we have it anymore. I remember it lived in Scotland. There was one called Lightning, but apparently it went missing, so they gave me another one called Mischief.
Did you just replace your child?
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know if it died or went missing or what.
I might adopt a dolphin now. You
Yeah.
know what? I could do that right now.
Then my sister adopted a tiger.
What? Just brought it into the house?
Yeah. No, they
There's
gave
been
her
worse
like
things
a
in
little
Ben's
couple of tiger
house.
as well. Yeah.
Why did you? What was that,
Okay.
Frank? What was that? Shut up, Frank.
I was just looking up. Because there is, like wild horses.
Yeah.
So there's only like 4 or 5 like herds of wild horses like left,
Hmm.
and a lot of them. I'm talking like truly wild, as in not like feral. So feral horses are sort of like horses that, as a group, just got abandoned ages ago and just continued doing horse things, and they just live in the wild. So they are technically wild, but like true wild horses are so incredibly rare now. But also people
Yeah, but
another
horses is we weren't using for like entertainment. We were using for
We
actual.
domesticated them.
Yeah,
But-
that's just like saying like dogs and cats.
Oh, what
We've
cows? How many wild cows is there?
uh
How many wild chickens is there?
okay, yeah, but horses aren't like so completely changed, if you get me. With like cows and chickens and stuff like that, we've completely changed them to like such a huge degree. Whereas like a regular horse can still live on its own out there.
Oh, I bet a chicken could. If we released all the chickens, I bet they'd thrive.
That's true, but like a lot of your cows, your sheep, your pigs, like actually pigs within like 2 generations turn back into wild boar, which I find fucking hilarious. Like apparently within like, if you release pigs into the wild and just let them do their own thing, within like 2 generations they're basically wild boar again, which implies to me that pigs are just holding themselves back. Pigs are containing their power.
Yeah, well, what
One
we do with
day,
pigs is we just feed them so they can't do anything. They're just that big and meaty. They're just like,
which is, I respect, because if I had that option, I'd be like, do I want to be a wild boar? Do I want to be fat as fuck?
do
Like,
I want to be an alpha or food for the humans?
yeah, and I'm like, I'm getting some good scran out of it, and I don't have to do much.
You're not getting fed for this episode of Podcast Frank.
Oh, why?
It's,
I've got some leftover pizza. I'll just go
Your
reheat that.
queen egg behind it, they haven't eaten for 4 weeks.
The cream egg. I just don't.
people are going to
chop
think
that
it's
a
been
lot.
Easter for a very long time. They're going
It
to think
has
we've
been.
recorded this over Easter weekend.
Yeah, we've recorded a year's worth of
back to back.
podcasts on
Yeah, yeah,
Easter.
that's what we have been doing. I've just been changing shirts.
That's all secrets.
Ah, they got us.
Oh,
We've actually recorded this all in the space of about 6 hours so far.
Yeah, I think all the recordings we've done have been more than 6 hours.
I don't know. Well, we've done,
I don't know.
an hour and a half per recording.
and that's 3
This is
hours.
episode 3.
Okay, it's less than 6.
Yeah. All right, so zoos, what we saying?
Zoos, yeah.
Well, one of the things I've got one of the things I think is that zoos, they do bring sort of a good thing in of people get to see animals they wouldn't normally get to see. Like, I would never have seen a tiger or a rhino or a giraffe or an elephant.
Oh my god, giraffes.
Giraffes,
I saw one like a year ago. I did not realize how tall giraffes are. It's
they are
ridiculous.
because you see it on like nature documentaries and stuff like that. You see them reaching to the top of a tree, and you're like, okay, they're tall. But it's when you see them and you're stood
They're
so close,
massive.
they are
I remember seeing
terrifyingly
they had like this
large.
big warehouse they were in. I'm like, why do they need doors that big? And then you see the giraffe's head like come out of there. And you're like, oh my god, it must be.
Yeah.
It's like two houses stacked on top. It's massive.
It's insane how big they are. And without a zoo, I don't think I would ever have seen that. Someone would have told me about a giraffe and I'd be like, oh yeah, they're really tall. And I'd think in my head it'd be like, what? They would be that tall.
Like 9 foot, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no, they're just. And rhinos, there's something about when I saw a rhino for the first time, because I knew they were big and I knew they were heavy and I knew that if they charged at something, they fucking ruin it. But it's when you see it there and you're like, he's a chonker. Like, Jesus Christ. That's terrifying. Oh. Like, it's just the scale of things. And without a zoo, I don't think I would have ever seen that. Because, let's be honest, not all of us are going to go on an African savannah holiday.
Why not? I mean, I'd like to go on somewhere like
yeah,
that.
I want to go as well.
I mean, yeah, but
That'd be
like
lovely.
not everyone in the world will. Okay? We just know that. But
Yeah, but what are you
zoos,
saying is, are you saying that because not everyone uses zoos, they're pointless?
no, what I'm saying is zoos sort of let people see these animals in their sort, like, not in their day-to-day life, but like as a kid or something like that. You can go to a zoo, or like the schools will take you there and
Mm.
you get to see these animals, and it makes them feel more real, if you get me. They don't feel like these distant, far away things that you're never really going to see. You don't really have to care about. But like when you see them, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's something about
You get
when you
more of an
see
emotional connection with them and
yeah, when you see
sympathy towards them.
yeah, when you see something with your own eyes, it just feels more there.
Yeah.
Do you
Which is
think if aliens were about, do you think they'd put us in zoos?
One of
And
the
just, like,
theories is
watch
that
it.
Earth is a big zoo. And they're just watching us.
fuck off. Earth's a big zoo. How do we know? We're stuck on it. Fuck off.
We're
That's one of
caged on
the
the Earth.
theories.
I hate these.
That's why
dog
the
things.
aliens fake the moon landing to make us think we can leave.
Well, I mean, that genuinely made me feel physically ill. What you just said there,
Well,
George.
It's just a Truman Show, but on a bigger scale.
But like, why would it need to be a zoo? Why wouldn't they just fly by and just on occasion send down a camera crew? Which is
because
probably
then
what a
we'd know
UFO.
about them. They don't want us. They don't want to disturb us in our
Because
natural
they
habitat.
know
not
that
gonna lie.
stress out us, humans.
I feel like if there's something we've learned from the current situation, is that if aliens did arrive, at least like a solid quarter of the population would be convinced it isn't real. Like, even if the aliens were walking among us, they'd be like, nah, this isn't real.
That
Yeah.
man is very thin.
Yeah, they'd be like, nah, aliens ain't real.
That's
I know
cosplay.
this. Like, or, like, I'm not gonna lie, if aliens, like, showed up on Earth, there's, like,
We'd
It
put
would
them in
cause-
zoos.
it would cause fucking chaos. Immediately, shit would hit the fan. Like, you know,
Well, I
We've
think
not-
this is another conversation for a different day. This could be a
That's true.
question on its own.
That's true. That's true. But like zoos wise, I think the main benefit they do bring is this sort of getting to see those animals, and sort of getting that connection with them. The conservation efforts they do, the breeding efforts, and then bringing them back into the wild. That's also incredibly helpful. Without that, we wouldn't have the black rhino still in the wild, I believe.
I would do with pandas as well.
That's true, but I'm not gonna lie, pandas are an evolutionary dead end at this point. Not gonna lie, let them go. Fucking
Have you not
Oh,
But you
seen
said
a Kung
about
Fu
every
Panda?
endangered species.
I mean,
They've all failed to evolve
well,
past
no,
us.
but okay, but pandas, right, are a carnivorous creature, right? So their whole biology is set up to process meat, and they chose to eat bamboo. They evolutionary niche themselves specifically into
Tasty, innit?
one food.
Well, it's just like a human eating vegan
Yeah,
stuff.
that's true. But like, you can
Are you
eat
saying that
vegan.
they're defective
You
and
can
they
eat.
should die?
You can eat vegan stuff and get all your nutrients. The reason why pandas have to eat so much bamboo is because it does fucking nothing for them. They are eating the equivalent of a single like corn chip. Whenever they fucking eat a whole stick of bamboo, like it does nothing for them. And
Yeah,
also, the breeding efforts, we're trying to get them to fuck, and they just won't fuck. They
I saw,
clearly don't want to survive. Let
I
them
saw,
let them die. Fuck
I,
pandas.
I saw a video of pandas yesterday. I think it sums them up perfectly. They were like climbing trees, and the tree just snaps, and you just see them just like oh, and they just fall. And one just like hits like this wooden bridge, and it just completely takes the bridge out. It just
Like,
it just stands up like oh, did something
do
happen?
pandas have any natural predators? Like, is there like?
Ah,
Because I'm not gonna lie, like one pack of wolves, I'm just saying, would wipe out all the pandas.
I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know
feel
about
like
pandas, to be honest.
you never
Like,
really see pandas fight for their lives. There could be savage bears, which I mean they are
they
bears.
they are proper bears. So, but they're
I mean they're
also
still. Oh, I don't know. The most I've seen a panda fight is in Tekken, and that's a panda that stands up and
I
fights
mean,
actual people.
Mine's Kung Fu Panda.
I don't think the pandas at any point are going to turn around to the people holding out their enclosures and go skadoosh, and then just
Oh my god, it'd be great. Kung Fu Panda's great.
yeah.
Anyway, shall we round up the zoos? Frank,
But
your roundup opinion. Do you think zoos are good or bad?
I think zoos need to be regulated, and there needs to be a lot of focus put into the animal welfare. But overall, I feel like zoos bringing up more awareness of animals brings more good than it does sort of harm to the animal. Sometimes it can be quite sad, especially with an enclosure that's too small for the animal, and you can tell they're bored. You can tell they're bored as fuck. Um, but I think overall, zoos perform a good thing for society. Of all the forms of entertainment, I'd say they're probably the best. Well, not the best, but like in terms of like bringing a moral good, they're quite good.
And you, Ben, what's your opinion on zoos? Do you think they're good or bad?
I think if they can be regulated and we have like a set standard for good conditions for all the animals, and we know that they're feeling fine, like psychology wise and um, yeah, everything, then I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Because the only cons is if the enclosure is too small or if they're in like unsafe places. And I just think like education is great with zoos. Like everyone learns lots of things from them, and there's lots of research papers on all the animals. I mean, like the word zoo comes from zoology, which means the research of animals, and we need it.
Does it come from zoo, or is it the other way around?
Zoology, I'm pretty sure it comes from.
I'm not. I'm just going to look
I'm
into the
pretty
etymology
sure.
of the word.
I'm sure I've heard that before.
Anyway, whilst you guys are looking that up, I agree. I think zoos are good. Obviously, you have some fucked up zoos, but I think that's down to the people running them, not the actual concept of a zoo itself. So I think in future we're definitely gonna have to use zoos, or at least evolve zoos, to be more like an asylum for animals, and less like a research or entertainment place for animals. When we just make the world uninhabitable, which is probably gonna happen at some point. Hmm.
You were right,
But
Ben.
yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
sorry.
Study animals.
Yeah, we have to raise that to the audience that Ben is correct there. It does come from zoological. Zoo is short for zoological garden. So I am now going to refer to every zoo I go to as a zoological garden.
When are you gonna go to a zoo?
I
I
don't
would
know.
recommend that Yorkshire Wildlife Park. It is
When
very
do they
good.
open back up?
They're open up. They opened up in April.
Oh,
Not to date this episode.
It's at some point after
We
April.
know it's
Oh, we
past
know we're
April. It
recording
could
at
be the
Easter.
Easter bank holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend it. But yeah, whose question is next? It's yours, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, it's mine. So, what would you do if you were trapped on an island, castaway style?
What sort of island is it? Is it like a desert island? Is it just sand?
I'm thinking like how it's in Castaway, so it's a bit like a tropical island. It's in the Pacific Ocean.
It's been
How
a long
big-
time since I've watched Castaway.
How big is the Castaway Island? Like, is it enough that he can eat? Is there like food there that he can eat?
There were quite a few trees on it, and they were eating like coconuts.
I feel
And
like
there's like the odd crab rolling around, and it does a bit of fishing.
I really don't like coconuts.
Well,
Coconuts
you
are
can't be picky,
lovely.
can you?
It's true.
It's gonna be like, oh, I
That's
don't like the taste of this. I'm just gonna die instead.
Well, you could do it like Madagascar style, where they set up the little tent that does all the cocktails and stuff. And they have like they pull the pulleys and like it pours a drink.
I feel like I don't know if I could actually set that up.
I mean, you're on a desert island. You've got all the time in the world. No one's coming to save
The
you.
only thing you can have is coconut as well, so it won't be much of a cocktail.
Well, that's where you get creative. Well, you could find some berries and stuff.
And
You can get some-
I don't think there were berries on the Castaway Island.
You get coconut, you get salt water, right?
You take, I know, you like filter the salt out, and then you've got salt. You can put that on fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna season my crab.
Ooh, well,
Well,
I'd rather
you've
have.
have you had crab? It's actually quite nice as crab.
I've never eaten crab.
There's not a lot of meat
No,
on
I've-
it, obviously.
I've
but,
never had it.
Oh, it's nice. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's fishy, but it's a crab.
It's a
it
bit
tastes
like
nice.
calamari.
No, not
That's
really.
squid.
I always say that's completely different, Ben.
A lot says fishy.
Does it?
I don't know. I'd say calamari is a less fishy tasting fish.
I've only had calamari wings, and they just tasted like
Oh,
fishy
that's why
onion
it
rings.
probably just tastes like batter. Okay, but yeah, I guess first thing I want to do is light a fire. Do I have anything?
First thing. I think first thing is find a reliable source of water.
Well, once you have
Well,
fire, you can make water. You don't need water. You got coconuts.
You can't just drink coconuts, Frank.
You can. They've got the water in there.
Yeah.
What's the
could.
possible downside?
The problem with it is that it makes you dehydrate, because when you're having just that nutrition, which is just like fruit and stuff, it makes you
Are you
expel a
telling me-
lot of water through like sweating and
No,
shitting and
but-
pissing.
Isn't
But it's-
coconut water a natural laxative as well? So he's gonna be shitting all the time.
I would say it
My
actually
island's gonna be
dehydrates you more.
overflowing
Just,
with feces.
I think it is actually a thing like if you eat a coconut, you'll actually if you eat just coconuts, you'll shit more out than you actually can consume, and you dehydrate that way.
Well, cut your coconuts in half. I don't actually know how to make a water filtration system, but I'd try.
Oh, for more time playing Raft.
Yeah,
Video game.
but from playing Raft, I need a sheet of glass. I need
You can do
two.
it with a
Like,
leaf.
the basic one first, just a leaf, and you have like 2 cups, and you just
Oh
heat
yeah,
the
but I ain't
bottom
no
cup.
basic bitch. Like,
Where do you get glass from? I know
Yeah,
this is
I've got lots-
about, but
I've got sand. I need 8 cobblestone, Ben.
do you know how to make?
I've got the trees, right? Guess what? You cut
Yeah.
down the tree, half of it, you
Charcoal.
turn. Yeah,
Needs
boom. I'm fucking in the money here.
to
I'm
keep
just,
an eye out for what saplings dropping on floor.
yeah. And then you dig down because you're on a survival island. You got to dig down, and then there's the dungeons down there. Yeah, it just works.
You don't even need to do all this. All you used to do is make a boat out of a couple of planks.
Oh yeah, you just go. Nah, you gotta have enough food for the journey.
Okay, I hate you both.
Video games is prepared us for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go punch down a tree. That's my first step. Fully just fucking right hook a tree.
Yeah, but is a coconut tree even hardwood? I'm pretty sure it's quite soft. Is coconut tree?
That's good. That I'll be able to punch it.
Yeah, but the boat you're making out of it is going to be a bit shoddy, isn't it?
I mean, that's true. It was a
Palm
boat
trees
I was
are
making. It was
evergreen,
going to
aren't
be
they?
shoddy anyway.
I don't know.
Palm trees are evergreen, so that means they're going to be softwood.
I feel like they're very soft. Like
No,
feel-
you know, softwood and hardwood doesn't like determine like how hard it actually is.
Have you know
That's
you
not how
know,
it
Ben,
works.
I don't know that.
that
How
the
does it
game
work, Ben?
Valheim has taught me? Valheim has taught me that you need mixtures of softwood and hardwood to make bows.
No, you
Now-
got
Yeah,
fine
but
wood.
Valheim was still saying
Oh.
that beech was a softwood when it's a hardwood.
How dare are you decrying? Wait, is beech a
Oh.
hardwood?
Yeah, I'm going to put his joint. I think I know.
Oh yeah, Bigsy does.
I do work
What-
with it at work.
What is the difference between a hard and a softwood then? Is it-
Softwoods are made from evergreen trees, so you know, like the like fir trees, you know, with the needles instead of leaves,
Yeah.
and like they don't drop leaves when it's like autumn. And the hardwoods are opposite.
So why is that?
So it's got nothing to do with actually how dense the wood is, and
It just changes like the grain and stuff in it. It's I don't know how
God,
to
his
describe
knowledge
it
of
all.
his apprenticeship that he's been doing for almost 2 years is really showing now, isn't it?
We're gonna send this to the
Yeah,
his apprentice coach.
go for it.
Well, Ben don't work with hard or softwood. He works with made up
but-
wood.
I
Works
mean
with plywood.
MDF.
MDF, yeah.
Yeah.
MDF, not real wood.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's made from the dust you get from wood.
Oh, is that what MDF stands for? Made from
Yeah.
dust.
It's medium density fiber.
That would be made dust from.
Oh.
Oh, it's getting boring now.
I think this is quite interesting, but it's just because you
Talking
do
about
this every
MDF.
day of your life, Ben.
Yeah, that's. So
Yeah,
what about
so you
that?
get the sawdust you get from cutting wood. You
Yeah.
send it off to a specialist, and they'll glue it all together and it makes MDF.
They
they
just
get-
glue.
They
Yeah,
get
it's
super
a type
glue,
of glue
right?
they have.
They use super glue,
Yeah.
right? They get each bit of
Every
dust
different
like
glue.
boop, boop, boop. It takes them a very long time, but they get it done.
Oh,
That's a very
So I think
specialist
step one on a desert island is
water and
you
food.
sort your water, your food, but also you're gonna need shelter. Like you need shelter before that first night, because otherwise you're just gonna die of exposure.
Just find a cave.
Find a
The
cave
weather's
on this
like-
desert island.
But Castaway, it's not a desert island. It's like a tropical island.
Oh,
Like in
did you find a
Castaway.
cave? Oh, then you're fine.
It had like a big mountain on it and a cave in it.
I remember. I don't know why, but I remember a scene where he climbed the mountain and went to hang himself, but like the noose broke, and he was like, "It's a sign from the gods." I remember that scene.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
remember
the sign of
Wilson.
your ropes. Garbage. Wilson.
But yeah, shelter. I don't know. You could just shelters aren't that hard to make.
Okay, George, how would you make a shelter?
Well, you got to do some things before you get a shelter. You need something to like make rope out of, so like a vine or well, even just a vine. You'd need to make a tool, probably just with a rock and maybe a big stick, just to cut down a tree. Then in fact, you can cut down plenty of trees, and I don't know what the type of shelter is called, but
You're
basically,
immediately making a log cabin.
You just
Like-
deforest a new island straight away.
no. Well, this is long term when I want to live in luxury. At first, I just
Okay.
find a cave. I mean, a cave does the job, doesn't it? It might be a bit damp in there. That's why I want to
Well-
get a fire in there, get it nice and dry.
Well,
Do you want to
what
put
you-
a fire in a cave though? It might suffocate you with smoke.
Well,
It
you put
depends
it
on
at
where
the
you have
entrance of
it.
the cave.
Yeah.
No, because what if all the smoke goes in?
Well, you make sure it doesn't, then, don't you? You build it specifically in a
Do
place
you know
where
how
there's
to
not-
do that?
Oh, Ben, I'm sure I could figure it out. I've got all the time in the
Okay.
world. I'm trapped on a tropical island.
I mean, you'd have all the time, but you got these like next couple of days.
Are we
otherwise you're
on
gonna
our
die.
own? Are we on our own, or
Yeah,
are we
you're
doing
on
a
your own.
situation? Okay,
On your own.
I don't know what
If it was-
Frank's doing if he's on his own.
I'm just
He's
I'm just gonna-
reading the Bible.
yeah, I'm gonna read the
Um,
Bible. That's what I'm gonna
Oh.
do. Until I die of dehydration. I'm gonna drink coconut water and jerk off. That's gonna be my survival plan.
Hmm.
I'm gonna chase crabs down on the beach because I can outrun a crab.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I'm sure you could actually.
Thought you were
Like-
gonna kill the crab.
grab it, and just fucking.
Just bash it against a rock. You're going to destroy all
Shake
the meat.
it.
I just crack it up.
Shake something to death.
I'm gonna shake it to death. Like it's a crab.
Maybe.
All its
Like a
insides are.
newborn.
Well, a crab's all exoskeleton, right? So if you just shake it enough, its insides will just slosh.
Make a spear and stab it.
Or I could just grab it. I can return to monkey, Ben.
What are you doing when it starts pincing at you?
I feel like
Win.
the most a crab can do is like pinch you and it hurts a little bit. He's not going to kill you, Ben.
Like if it's a
No, I'm
coconut
not
crab,
saying
though.
that.
If it's a coconut crab, though, I am getting a spear. Like, not gonna lie, coconut crab, I ain't fucking with.
A mud crab.
Then you're going to try fishing?
I don't know how to fish, Ben.
I don't know, the sea's very scary, Ben.
Do you know how Tom Hanks did it? Like, a packager appeared on his shore and had a dress in it, like a netty sort of dress. He made a net out of that.
Well, if we get random packages to wash up on our
Yeah,
shore,
care
can
packages.
Yeah.
I get a care pack? I'm gonna call in.
Well, you know what I do, Ben? I do exactly what Tom Hanks did in Castaway.
Okay.
Exactly.
Remember how long he spent on that island?
I'd grow a very big beard. I remember he did that.
He spent 4 years on that island.
Oh,
feel
imagine
like-
just getting to fuck off for 4 years and go live on a tropical island.
I mean, you could just do that.
No, people would find me
Everyone
now.
thought
They've
you were
got-
dead.
Okay, that's
Well,
a bit cruel. Everyone can't.
Like,
be dead.
you could just fuck off for 4 years. That is an option that is available to you. You can just like I at any point could turn around to everyone in my life and go,
Well, I
"I'm
can't
gonna
right now,
just."
can I? Because coronavirus. I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
That's true, but once that's not about, you can just go like, "I'm just gonna go do whatever for 4 years." Bye. We can't
I'm gonna go
stop
to that
you.
island with the people that kill anyone who goes on it.
An Indian Ocean, I think. I'm going to get there.
I'm gonna get 5 pieces of wood, 5 blocks of
Oh
wood,
my God.
put it in a crafting table, and sail over
You need
there.
a shovel now. You need a
Oh,
shovel
you need
now
a
to make.
shovel. Oh, God. Then I'll
You
get
need
2 sticks and another plank of wood.
All right, so we've got everything sorted on the island. You got your shelter, you got your fire,
Oh, I did
You've-
that fast. How did I do that,
you
man?
got food. How are you going to try and leave?
How did I start this fire?
You have to do the stick thing, don't you?
I don't know if I know how that. I feel like there's more to it than that,
It
right?
took Tom Hanks quite a while to do it.
I feel like an easier way to do it is there's loads of glass and stuff in sea with like glass bottles and stuff. If you just get a piece of glass, you can just magnify it and make it very hot. That does work, by the way,
Okay.
and start a fire.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like it's still just as hard.
also
Yeah,
you've
but
not
the
just
thing with
got
that is you could automate it. You could set it up and then just leave it and then come
You've
back
also-
to it later, rather than sitting there doing that. Or you could do that at the same time. Do the
You-
do
at
the
this
rubbish.
Do you
point,
know how
George-
you do with the stick thing? You need
Oh,
to have
you-
like a little
Spin it.
tiny ditch underneath it, so you got air intake going into it. You need to have like
I
the
had no idea
dry
that
stuff.
was how that worked. I would have
Yeah.
been sat there for
Right.
4 hours, Ben, until I
That's what happened
gave
with
up.
Tom
and
Hanks. Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
how
there's
fires
lighters
work.
in sea at this point.
Yeah, but they will be ruined.
I'm not if they're good quality lighters.
Then we ran out
Okay,
of fuel.
okay, I'm gonna find a lighter, right?
Well, your lighters aren't good quality, are they, Frank?
Fuel.
Okay, do you know what the bit where the fire comes out of the lighter, right? If you get
Yeah.
water down that, kind of fucks the lighter.
Well, you know, lighters have air in them, so they'll float. So water won't
Okay,
ever
so
go
you're-
in them.
So you're assuming this lighter is going to float perfectly like that the entire way. Also, with this glass that you're expecting to show up, not only you are looking into glass being within your reach, you are looking into glass that can magnify within your reach.
Well, yeah, you can do that with any glass bottle.
So it's a whole like contained glass bottle.
Well, yeah, who's throwing half of a glass bottle away?
All right, I'm just saying. You are waiting for
Who
the
smashes
entire-
their bottles before they throw them into the sea?
the
Let's
entire
be
ocean.
realistic.
The entire ocean isn't just coated in glass bottles.
I've played Raft, Frank. I think I know exactly what it's like. there's
Oh.
half chopped down trees. There's barrels of supplies. You know, I'm just gonna build a raft.
Yeah, let's go
I
play
can go where I
raft.
want.
Let's go play raft, guys. Fuck the podcast. Let's
do
go
you
play
think you
raft.
could build a raft?
Well, yeah, you just need.
Do you know how to build a raft?
I built a raft at NCS.
Did it work?
I mean, yeah, it did actually. Our raft stayed together
was
whilst
it,
everyone
was it a
else's.
full size raft?
Yeah, it fit like 8 people on it.
That's pretty rad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Would it survive the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, so we're in the Pacific Ocean now.
That's what I said. We're in the. It's an island
Oh.
in the Pacific. Tropical island.
What
I don't
creatures
think
live on
any
Pac-
raft survives in the ocean, I'll be honest. I feel like rafts aren't made for the ocean. They're made for like maybe crossing a river.
What the Polynesians? They made like pretty decent rafts to get to all the islands.
Were they rafts or were they boats that they called rafts?
Have you ever seen Moana?
No,
What
I've not
can I
seen one.
say except you're welcome. So when Dwayne the Rock Johnson shows up on our island,
When the Maui rock up and settle their capital on our island.
we're like, fuck. Oh.
Would you not try and like do a message like a big SOS on the beach or like make a
Well, I
beacon?
feel like times have changed a lot since the Castaway movie came out. I feel like if you ever got stuck on an island and a plane went down, it would be a lot faster that they'd find that plane.
Well,
'Cause-
yeah, because
Say that, but remember the Malaysia?
Malaysian Airlines, that's true, but
Yeah.
that went down like in the middle of the fucking ocean. It went radio silent like a while beforehand. Like there was a lot of shit that happened for the Malaysian Airlines flight to go as shit south as it did. It's also it went off course on the flight, if I remember rightly.
Well,
Also-
how do you know that happened to us on our island?
Well, okay, if we're going completely missing, I'm just gonna kill myself.
Really?
I mean, Frank's all about the easy way.
I'm gonna take the fucking easy way out here. I'm gonna
And then I've got a question for you, Frank. You're on a tropical island. How are you gonna kill yourself?
probably by accident.
Probably by accident.
How?
Okay.
I'll set up my fire inside the cave like a fucking idiot, and
So
like
you're gonna
just
to
you're
set
gonna
up a
cut yourself
fire?
and get sepsis.
yeah, I'll like
That's
I'll
a bad way to die, though.
I'll try and fight a crab. It'll win. I'll be bleeding out on the beach and just
How big
Turns
is
out-
this? Why don't you just swim out into ocean and freeze to death and then die?
nah. Okay. Anything?
Quite hard to kill yourself by drowning. Just like make yourself do it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you swim far enough into ocean, it's just gonna take you out, and then you've got no choice.
Yeah, but you still need
Yeah.
to get into that mental. But
Well, Frank's already decided
It's
he's
swi-
dying.
I've
today.
decided I'm gonna kill myself.
there's easy ways to kill yourself.
Hey, you know when
We
George
can't
is,
stop this conversation.
you know when George is off getting the vines to make his house. Guess what? I'm tying.
Frank, do
We're
you
getting
know
the
how
vines
to
to make a
tie a
rope.
noose?
Yes.
You haven't got Google to be like how to tie
I-
a noose, and then
I
it's
know how to
like,
tie a
are
noose.
you okay?
I'm not gonna talk about this, but I know how to tie a noose, and now we're moving on.
In fact, I actually learned how to tie a noose in Scouts, but I can't remember how to tie a noose.
Why did they teach you how to tie a noose in Scouts?
There's
case you
more
have to-
uses for a noose than hanging yourself.
Well,
It's not
hanging
the
others.
exclusive hang yourself, not.
Well, you could hang others. I'm guessing. Was this when the Scouts had to be called upon to execute enemies of the nation? Like,
Yeah, the Scout code.
yeah,
Always execute the enemies of the nation.
yeah, defend the Queen. You know all that.
Oh,
Did you join
I
the
feel like we've
Scouts, or was it the Hitler Youth? Did you? Join...
I did not join the Hitler Youth, funnily enough.
Man, that's fucking whack, man. That was their Scouts, and then. Do you
Was
know
it their Scouts?
That was
I mean,
their Scouts.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of their Scouts, yeah.
Yeah. You know, during the Battle of Berlin, they enlisted like a lot of the Hitler Youth in like manning AA turrets and stuff like that. There's a bit where I believe it was.
I'm
one
not
of the
gonna lie.
Soviet-
When I was in Scouts, I'd have loved that. I'd be like, oh yeah, I get to sit on an AA
Well,
gun.
Yeah, like they were all hyped for it. There was a bit where I believe it was. I can't remember if it was a Soviets or the other side.
The others
rest-
there.
The rest of the Allies, because in my head, like the Soviets and the rest of the Allies didn't really talk much because you know they weren't
How have we
very
gotten
good.
from a deserted island to Nazis?
It always comes down to this, then. It all comes back to the Nazis every time.
God.
You
But
actually
to-
find on this desert island the long lost remnants of the Nazis.
You find Adolf Hitler himself on this island. What do? You arrive on your island. You've set up your survival thing. You've set up your little tent. You've got your cave set up. You've collected some crab. you're fishing a little bit. Because I feel like, can you make how much plant fiber can you get out of a vine? Because if you got enough fibers out of it and then wove them together, you could make a string, right? And
Are
then
you
you
on
just
about
need to make
making
a
a
hook.
net?
I'm thinking
Oh,
about making a fishing hook.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's
wait,
a
you don't
very
have-
ineffective way. You don't want to just sit there fishing all day.
What else
you
are we
want
gonna do?
something.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Build a lovely mansion out of wood.
And
Okay,
you've got no trees left, and then you've got no coconuts left.
Well, you don't use all of them. Do you really think I'm an idiot?
okay. Do you know how long it takes a tree to grow, George?
Then produce its
Couple of
fruit
minutes.
as well.
Like,
That's why you have.
Oh
like,
yeah,
these
it's a
are
couple minutes, and then it
You're just
spawns
gonna
up.
farm some skeletons for some bone meal.
Yeah.
I'd honestly live more off of the sea than anything else. I'd try to set up like a fishing network using nets made out of plant fibers and things like that. And then I could always just go in the ocean with a spear, I guess, and go spear fishing. But that's a lot of effort.
Yeah, you got to get good with
But
the
you
spear.
kind of need to put in effort to survive.
You are right there. But
true.
it's that you don't want to put in more effort than it's worth. You don't want to waste energy. Unless you're already set up, you've got your wooden house together. You got yourself a lovely little hammock. You've started writing books on stone tablets that you can read to yourself.
Why would you write it on the stone when you could just get like leaves and stuff like that and dry them out? Like, because you're on
That's not
palm
how
trees.
paper is made.
Yeah,
you
but
don't
like
use dry leaves to make paper.
yeah, but
You
like
can't
you
just
get
write
layers.
on dry
You
leaves.
get
Papers are made
layers
from
of it.
leaves.
You get layers of it. You dry it out. You basically do what you do with papyrus.
Okay. So you're gonna make papyrus paper on your island?
I'm
Why
gonna
wait
make.
for a fish?
Okay. I will. I will trade with your island, Ben. I'm gonna show up. I'm assuming now that our islands are like within the line of sight of each other.
Well,
Why
if we
wouldn't the
light up
Galapagos
if we
Islands?
light a fire, we can see each other on island. So we're
Yeah,
all
well-
now on our own island.
Oi!
Just light the beacons when we need some help.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! The crabs are being pricks again. Yeah.
What if
But,
there's like
like-
monkeys on it? Monkeys would fuck you up if they were on your island.
I don't think
Oh, yeah.
monkeys have fit on that island. It was quite small, but big enough to like
Sustain one individual.
yeah.
I'd make sandstone out of the sand and then make a sand house. I'd make
God.
bricks. I'd make a kiln and then I'd make bricks.
Okay. Do you know how to make a kiln?
I've got plenty of time to figure it out.
Okay, I like how you're trying to speed run the development of humanity. That's my favorite thing
It
about
could
this.
be like
is-
Dr. Stone.
Okay, are you a scientist?
Technically, no.
Needs to be
Like-
just gonna build a research table.
Yeah, get a research table and it researches it for me. I just need to put the components in there. I've played a lot of survival games, Frank.
This is what survival games have taught us. Survival games, if anything, have taught us how not to survive.
It'll be easier than survival games because what being bobsledd's trying to kill us.
You say that. Do you know what's going to be the worst thing about this one is, you know, in a survival game where you're running for hours to find resources.
Yeah.
Now you're actually running for hours.
No, 'cause in real life you wouldn't run all the time.
That's upset.
Because time doesn't go as fast.
That's true.
You've got a longer day. Where would you sleep? Would you just sleep on like a rock?
I'd get some palm leaves or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can make a bed out of some leaves.
Where can I sleep? Can't we get hay?
I'm pretty good at.
Is there
I'm
no
pretty
hay
good at
around?
hay.
No spare hay.
I'm pretty good at sleeping on the ground, to be fair.
What if you make like a water bed?
You could make
Ow.
a hammock.
You
Yeah.
could make. Yeah, that's a lot easier than making a water bed.
You have to
I
get
like-
an indoor hammock though when it's pissing it down.
Oh nah, it's fine. I'll just get drunk.
So you're
Yeah.
making doors on your desert island as well now.
Well,
No.
if there's one skill Ben has,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
how to make a
Making
door.
doors. Oh, you got to make hinges then, Ben. How are you going to get metal for your hinges? Are you going to make like wooden
you can
hinges?
do wooden hinges.
Oh, that
I've seen
sounds
videos where they've made it.
That sounds pretty cool.
It doesn't look like proper hinges. It's you have like how to describe it. You have
I
like a
think I can
dowel in between
visualise
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool. I like that concept.
I also need chisels so I can do it all.
Well,
Let's
Don't get
make a
chisels
chisel
from?
out of stone.
make one.
Okay.
Yeah, just make a chisel. Like,
I'll
also,
just
like,
just use flint chisels.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
How do
yeah,
you
but
think
here's where there's
how do you
Yeah.
think the
here's where there's
Stone Age
no
people
flint
did
on
it?
your where there's no flint on your island. You're
Yeah.
just fucked.
You've harvested
It's-
all the gravel and didn't get any flint. You've got a big pile of gravel now.
No, you can just put the gravel back down and hit it again.
Yeah. Keep on digging the gravel until you get flint.
Yeah, that's how it works. There's
So-
always some flint in there.
I hope the audience has played Minecraft before, so they understand all these
Okay.
references.
Everyone's played Minecraft.
Okay, Ben, everyone has played. There are undiscovered tribes in the middle of the fucking Amazon who know what a creeper is. So, like,
There's
fucking-
someone right now who's trapped on a desert island, tropical island, castaway style, that's played Minecraft.
yeah, and he is gonna go punch a tree,
Yeah.
and then break his fist
Okay.
immediately. He's just gonna go all out, throw a punch, and just shatter his hand, and then he's dying.
What I want to know is how do you survive a plane crash and just wake up on a desert island?
You float.
It was clinged to the blow like boat thing that you get from the plane, and the
Yeah.
current brought him to the island.
I want to say because if you're just in the water, you're just gonna freeze to death before you become conscious.
Well, it
again.
depends. It's tropical, quite warm.
That does not make the sea warmer.
I mean,
Uh,
it is a
it
bit warm
does.
in the Atlantic, but
It
I don't think it's
does.
warm enough to survive it.
I mean, it's England.
Oh yeah, we're experts at surviving in the cold, aren't we? After all this
Yeah.
hot weather we've just had.
But it's been randomly throwing it down. Like, have you noticed that? Like, what the fuck's
All
going
last
on?
week.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
random. It's just the weather. It's a cycle. The nitrogen cycle.
Are you gonna explain the nitrogen cycle to me?
I don't want to. I remember having to learn that for GCSE. I think it was actually biology you had to learn it for.
Yeah, because it's like the thing that keeps life going.
Yeah.
Right, so do you all think you survived then?
I don't think I'd survive very long. I feel like if I get past that initial curve, I'm fine. Once I get through that initial like fucking setup of like I need to know what to do, I need to know how to set this fire up, I need to know where I'm going to be sleeping, I need to know what I'm going to eat, I need to know how whether or not it's sustainable. If I can find a sustainable food source, I'm fine. I'm going to hate eating the coconut, but
Would you want to survive for long?
Oh, I would. It'd be lovely. Just imagine you just sat on a tropical beach in your little palm sunbed that you've made,
On your
drinking
own pussy,
coconut
right?
cocktails. Ben, I don't know if you know this, but I quite enjoy being on my own.
I feel
I find
like
it very relaxing.
I feel like I'd get bored.
I don't
but-
think for the rest of your life, though.
I think I could
You'd be
do it.
probably going insane.
Yeah, but there's still a chance at some point that I get rescued.
Well, you start making friends with fishes and things like that.
I just go
Okay.
crazy.
You build a fish
I'm
tank.
just gonna go mad.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
my
survive.
thing. I'm gonna like on the walls of my cave, like I'm gonna have made some dye out of something, right? And I'll be just painting like the end times up across the wall.
No, what would be, Frank, is someone will discover this cave and it's D&D 6th edition rule set, and you've made the next edition of D&D.
And they're like,
Just on a cave wall.
Oh my
they're
god.
like, what is this? It's perfect. He solved action economy. The madman. He actually did it.
It's like
He
the
made-
golden tablets of Mormonism.
Yeah. He fixed Ranger. He did it. He fixed the Ranger.
That's what Frank would do. But I feel like I'd survive. I feel like the point where I'd probably end up dying is when I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've got everything I need to survive now, and then I start experimenting and end up rather doing something that causes me to die, or just dying there.
Some point, I probably would just get ill, not know how to fix it, and then just die.
Well, that's the thing. If you can't really fix it, you've just got to make sure you've got like enough supplies to get you through the sickness, and then you've just
Yeah,
got to
but,
rest
like-
up as much as you can.
If I break my leg, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to set that.
You just gotta like put it
Walk
back in
with a limp.
place and leave it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, You say that, or you just put it back in place. Like,
you just put it so it feels right, and they're like, that looks right, and
okay,
then
I'm
hope
not
that
gonna
it
lie.
grows
I'm
back
gonna
correctly.
move it, George. Scream in pain. Not gonna know where it is. I have a lot of self-doubt, George. Right? I'm
Yeah,
not.
but when you're in these survival situations, it's like that
Oh.
that switch goes off in your brain. It's like, right, I've got to do this, else I'll die, and you'll be like, do I really want to die? No.
I have never been in a life or death situation. I don't think so. I guess that is. I don't know these.
I don't know if I have actually.
I think I have.
Oh, we're so privileged, aren't we?
Yeah, we've never had to
So
survive
let's
on a
go on an
desert.
island, see what happens.
Are we all going to our own island, or are we
Yeah.
going as a group?
Can record it, so it's content for YouTube.
That's true. Now, if we're going to record it, we have to do it as a group because otherwise it's just going to be each of us going individually insane. Like, at some point, the camcorder is going to pan over. You guys are going to arrive at my island. I'll be like, hello! And I'm just naked. I'm covered in crab blood. Just running around. I have a single coconut.
Crap.
Yeah. And then you pan to George's island, and it's just got kilns and stuff with it.
Yeah, he's got rows of kilns set up. I'm
Factory
running
there.
around with a
I'm in the
single
industrial
half.
era.
I've got like half a coconut cup in my balls as like my clothing, and I'm just sprinting around, running at crabs and like diving off.
Having a train system up and running. I'm already building a bridge over to your island to harvest all of your resources.
And I'm just like, get away from my island, fuck boy! And I'm throwing coconuts.
I feel like I could build a combustion engine if I had enough time.
My God.
You could not build a combustion
Oh,
engine.
you
I think I
Fuck
could build a
off.
steam engine.
Fuck off. You would not be able to build a steam engine that didn't just fucking explode.
I think with enough time, and if I've got the resources there and I'm willing to mine it and do everything with it, I think genuinely I could build a steam engine.
I think you could.
I know.
No.
You know what, George? Without looking it up, can you explain to me how a steam engine works?
You have steam and it goes through an engine.
Okay. I'm gonna look up a steam engine, right?
Oh my god!
What are you
The
going to
thing
make
is,
it
I have
out of?
fucking steel or iron. No, iron. You'd have to make it iron. I'm not making steel.
You know how to mine iron?
You get iron oxide, and then you burn it to get the oxide part
Hey,
off of it,
Can
and
you
then
name me
you
the
cast
two?
it.
Can you name me the two fundamental elements of a steam engine?
Combustion, steam, and an engine.
It is the boiler and the motor unit. So you need a heat
So you have
source.
the boiler to make it pressure to turn the motor unit.
Okay. How will you know how much pressure you need that won't rupture it?
That's why I
Trial
build
and
a
error?
chimney, and I'm just like that. That looks a bit leaky, and
So,
then release a bit of pressure.
so you're gonna do it by eye?
Well, how else am I going to do it? I'm not going to build a way to measure the pressure. I mean,
Okay. I hate this, man.
do you know what I could just do? I could just build, rather than build it without an engine, just build like a roller coaster. Just at the top of the hill, you have the start of the tracks, and you push.
Why are you building a roller coaster on your island? I just want to live. I'm gonna live in my cave. I'm gonna paint cave paintings. I'm fine with being in the Neolithic era. I'm fine with that.
You know what? I am too, but you
It
said
doesn't sound like you are.
I'd be fine with it. I'd be chilling. I'd
Fucking
find
this
some...
motherfucker. We're gonna be making flint tools, right? He's gonna show up with bronze, and he's like, "Ooh, I found some tin."
Yeah,
And
I feel like we could get to the Bronze era.
Okay, we would need tin.
Oh, well, if the island has tin on it, I'm gonna say if it doesn't have tin on it, then we're a bit fucked, aren't we? But
You need copper as well.
Yeah, tin and copper. What if one of our islands has copper and the other island has tin?
You need to know how to smelt things as well.
I'm sure I can
And
figure that
form
out.
it.
I'm sure I could. I'm a smart
You
guy.
get a big
man.
fire, Ben.
Yeah.
Big fire.
You have to make it hot enough.
More
Bigger
fire.
fire.
See, George gets here. Bigger
Oh.
fire. You want things hotter? More fire.
And then you build fans to waft on the fire to make it intenser.
Ah, we get the palm tree things and we just waft.
Yeah.
We waft the fire. See, me and George have already got
You
this
see,
set up.
Ben's doing this, but fundamentally, I can't even say it. Fundamentally, that's correct.
George,
There's more to it.
George, do you want
There's
to
a
live
lot
on the
more to
same
it.
island? George, you want the same
Why would I want to
island?
live with you?
Okay, your choice is me or no one.
I've got an island as well.
There's more. There's more resources for me if I'm on my own.
I'm upset.
I don't have to share then.
God.
Hmm.
So we think we'd survive on a desert island.
I think I could survive it. I don't
think
think
I
I'd
could.
actually build a train because what's the point in building a train?
After flexing.
I mean, if I got to the point of like, I've run out of things to do now. Let's just have a project. Let's build a train.
I feel like
But at that point, why don't I just build a steamboat? Than a train.
You have to go straight to the steamboat. Just make a normal boat with a sail.
we're building like regular sailboats. George is showing up with an ironclad.
Yeah, but then I don't know celestial navigation either. So what's the point in building a boat? I'm just gonna get myself killed. It's not just like waypoint home is this way.
If you just go for long enough in a direction, you'll find something, right?
Yeah, you
Well,
might come across a
How do you answer me this?
cargo
How
boat.
do you make sure you're going in a straight line in the sea?
You can tell where north and east is.
What happens at night time?
You follow a North Star.
Yeah, you follow the North Star.
Do either of you know how to find the North Star?
Okay. I'm not gonna
No.
lie, George. I would just sail like that. I'd get my east and west from the day. I'd sail, and then as I wouldn't turn at any point. I would do my best to keep steady. And when it gets to night, I would look up and see if I recognize anything. And I wouldn't, because I don't know how celestial navigation works. But like, as long as I can recognize a certain constellation out at sea, and I use that constellation as sort of my measuring stick of like that should be that way if I'm going this way. Because that's kind of how celestial navigation works. Like, it's just looking up the stars and using them as markers, basically.
I mean, you could invent your own system for tracking the stars.
I'm just gonna name constellations something different. I'll be like, that one is that one's the prick constellation, because it looks kind of like George.
Meanwhile, I'm going past you in my steamboat.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, all right. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know where you're going, do you?
Who cares? I've got
Going in circles.
You've
The
been
best
going
thing
in
about a
circles for
steamboat
weeks.
is you can just refuel it with the sea because the sea does steam.
Okay.
How are we gonna heat it?
With my fire.
They have big fire.
Where are you getting your fuel from?
The sea. Salt
It
is
was-
flammable.
Is it?
I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
Okay. I almost believed you for a second there. I was like,
I mean, you can burn sodium. It does burn, but then you've got to split the sodium.
In the chloride.
Yeah. And if A-level chemistry taught me anything, it's that I don't know how to do that.
Well, choose your. Just say what you know. What I mean, saying you'll figure it out. You got enough time.
Yeah, well, when I'm at sea, I don't. The sea's perilous.
What you do it before then, what you?
You know what? I just wouldn't bother leaving my island. I'd just live happily on my island. Try to make it as luxurious as possible. I genuinely I'd try to build a lovely, lovely little house for myself.
I'm
I'd
just gonna
make a
get
big
very good.
SOS on the beach, and if I see a boat, I'd have a beacon ready to light.
You want to be rescued, though. You spent all this time setting up this lovely house and this lovely little vacation for you.
What if I just get to the highest point on the thing and just set a fire there?
That's
and
what I
just-
would have done. I'd have a beacon ready there, so whenever I see a boat nearby, I'd light it.
Yeah, but what if you miss the boat? What if you're like, oh fuck, and then you're running up to the thing, and then like,
Well, I'd
I
hope
just
that
have
they'd see and they'd try and rescue me.
I'd have I feel like I'd just keep my beacon lit like constantly.
But when
That's
you
a
just
lot of
use up all your
resources, though.
trees,
That's true. Wait, surely the smoke coming up from your regular fire would also indicate.
depends how big
What if it's
fire is.
nighttime? You can't really see smoke at nighttime.
Yeah, but that's when your
Yeah.
fires. Can I burn crab?
You probably can, but I don't think it'll burn for very long.
And you kind of
Okay.
want it for food as well.
I mean,
No,
you
I don't
can
eat-
burn anything technically, Frank. You could burn a
Ooh.
rock. They just take a very long time and it'd be pointless.
I'm gonna burn rocks. That's gonna be my strategy.
How hot do you have to make a fire to burn a rock? To set
Depends
fire
what
to
rock
a
it
rock?
is.
I think rocks melt. They don't burn.
Yeah, they don't.
Melting point of rock.
It depends what rock.
You just create lava.
Rock.
Uh,
That's tungsten.
I think we're done with this question now.
Igneous rocks can melt quite easily, apparently, because they've
Okay.
melted
They're
before.
rocks that have already melted, igneous rocks.
Yeah.
You've got like your rocks and your igneous and your sedimentary and whatever. Shit.
Metamorphic.
Metamorphic, yeah.
These
I didn't
guys
remember
said
that.
geography.
I know, right? Fucking...
That were physics. No, chemistry.
No, it was chemistry as well. They did it in both.
Yeah,
no.
I feel like what I do on the island is if I get past that initial survival period, which is unlikely, not gonna lie, there's a good chance of me dying there. But once I get past that setup, I think I'm fine, and at that point I just go crazy. It's me going insane, I think, is the main danger, which is gonna happen. I don't know if I'd manage to get rescued. I feel like I'd have a beacon set up. I'd probably do the help me in rocks.
Yeah.
Or I'd probably get bored of having help
And then
me.
someone on Google Maps will just be like, enhance. There's a help me sign here.
Yeah.
Post it on the internet and then everyone knows where you are.
Yeah, and then no one will come get me because
And
it's
then
all on Reddit.
It's 10 years later, you're already dead.
Yeah, like, I'd probably just, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably get bored and change the help me sign to be like random words, because if you saw any words on a desert island, you're like, fuck's going on over there? Just be like dab or
Like aliens are here, and people come.
yeah, here be dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel
think
like
we-
I'd survive, honestly. I feel
Well,
like
you
I
want to
could
build
do
a
it.
steam
Yeah.
engine, so like,
I wouldn't actually do that. I feel like I could do it eventually if I originally survived. But no, I wouldn't bother. I don't have the effort. I'd just be like, I'll have my coconut cocktails with my salt, my salt hinted coconut cocktail sat on my veranda overlooking the sea.
trying to work out what I'd try and make. I feel like I'd want
I just
some
want a
sort
nice
of, like-
house, somewhere nice to sleep and food and water.
Yeah, which
Like
make that.
Like what?
Once I make a bed, I feel like that's peak.
Yeah. I think I'll be able to survive. I reckon I can do most of the things you need to do. I reckon I can make fire with stick thing.
Well, Ben knew more about that than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that
You
you
can
need
build a
air
steam
in-
engine though.
I'd never
No.
planned on building one anyway.
Okay. How are you gonna cast the iron to make the steam engine?
I'm gonna chop down the wood to get a wooden pick. Then I'm gonna harvest some stone to get a stone pick. And then when I harvest the iron, smelt the iron in my cobblestone furnace. And then put my iron
I want to play Minecraft now. You made me want to play Minecraft. I want to play like a survival
Can we
island.
do your question now, Frank?
My question is now: do you want to play Minecraft?
I'm
not gonna lie,
God, I
playing-
hate Frank's question though.
Playing Minecraft would get us more viewers than this podcast. That is true. No, that is.
No, so far we've got 0 viewers.
that
We're
is
just
true.
doing this for ourselves.
We're just doing this to have an excuse to talk to people.
I hope someone actually watches this and enjoys it. I hope
I
someone
hope.
like this is a
Alright,
good thing.
my girlfriend said she'd watch it.
Well, yeah, but she's just doing that out of support. She'll have it on
Yeah,
in
but
the
I tell my
background.
girlfriend she's doing a podcast. She's like, oh, okay.
No, she
Well,
seems interested in
sort of
it.
support.
I've told her what questions we've been doing. She seems interested, so.
Yeah, but then she'll listen to how much we like are just idiots, and be like, "Oh,
she
okay."
could be one girlfriend down and one podcast up.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a trade deal. I'm just saying.
Come on then, Frank, your question.
So, if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? In terms of food, I'm not going like single ingredient. I'm saying it can be an established meal. So something like spaghetti bolognese is a single food, I'm saying.
My meal would be a plate of every single food on the planet.
You can't have that. Go fuck
buffet.
It's a
yourself.
meal.
It
My
has to be
meal
a
would be a buffet.
No, you can't have a buffet. It has to be a single one-course meal that you could
A buffet is
theoretically.
a one-course meal.
No, it's not.
It's a
Shut up.
really big one.
Shut up. You're not allowed a buffet. Go fuck
Oh my
yourself. You're
God.
immediately gaming this. Like, so
Of course I am. I'm a gamer. I'm gonna build a Steam engine.
Oh my God.
oh.
Oh, sorry. I'm rambling. Go on, Frank. Finish your
So
question.
a single sort of meal. So like a spaghetti bolognese, say a chicken korma. So you'd have the rice, your chicken, your sauce, stuff like that, basically. So I'd say so. Basically, it's a main bit and your side. I'd say. So with your spag bol, you got your mince, your spaghetti bolognese sauce, and then the pasta. That's a meal. You are allowed one meal. That you
Do
are.
I
That
still
is the
get to
meal.
drink any liquids that I want, or is it like no? I have to
You-
have this standard liquid. I can
I'm
only
gonna
drink.
say
I
I'm
can
gonna
only
say you're
drink
allowed
energy
whatever drink.
drinks for the
I'm
rest
allowed,
of my life.
Okay.
whatever drink you're allowed. You're allowed. You can have a variety. You're allowed at least 2 different squashes. Like
I'd have like coffee and water. That'd do me.
Okay.
I feel
fair.
like you can't take
Hey.
water away because that's a bit of an issue for.
I mean, the
Oh,
humanity.
yeah.
water is in all of them. So
Yeah.
I think for food, I'd say pizza because you can have any topping on a pizza.
Oh, but
no. Oh, no.
imagine
It
how
has to be. It
bad-
has to be
that is
one
so
specific
bad
pizza.
for you, Ben.
Oh,
It has to be one specific pizza, Ben.
oh, I was going to say, like, you can have any topping and you can just pick off. Like, you can have pineapple on it. That's my fruit. And you could have sweet
it has-
pizzas.
it has-
Instead of
it has-
having
it has to
tomato
be
base, it'd
one-
be chocolate base.
It has to be one kind of pizza. You can't. So that would. In terms of like bringing
Do
it
you
back
know
to the
how
spag.
unhealthy it'd be to eat pizza every single day?
I don't know. I've been doing it my entire life.
My idea was that you do change the toppings on it.
Nah.
That doesn't
nah.
make the pizza any less healthy. You're still eating all of that bread.
But you don't have to eat all of it. You can just pick the toppings off.
But then you're not eating the pizza. You're just eating the food that's on
Yeah, but
top.
that would have been allowed if you allowed me to change the toppings.
Nah.
'Cause you don't have to finish the entire meal, do you?
No. You don't have to. But like,
Yeah.
you are wasting food. Kids in
Yeah.
Africa could have had that food.
I was going to say, but this won't apply now as well. I want to say potatoes because you can have potatoes in like different forms.
Potatoes are so bland. I think
You
you
can have
could eat
mashed, you can have
potatoes.
baked. You can still have crisps. You can have waffles.
It's just it is the balancing act, I think, of you have to have something that will keep you alive, but also not taste like absolute garbage.
Kale.
So is this food and meal thing like it has to keep your nutritions up and everything? It's not
I
just
mean,
like you'll stay
no.
alive even no matter what you eat.
No. You are just eating this. Your body still functions like a normal human body.
Well, if you eat one thing constantly, your body's not going to get the nutritions it needs because it's only going to get a specific. It needs so many different nutritions that you get so
Okay.
many different types of food.
Okay,
I just say
so like,
salad because you can have like anything in salad.
oh, so you have like a specific kind of salad, and you've just built it to do all your
Yeah.
nutritional needs. So you got like you've got like a little bit of carbs in there. You got a little bit of like protein. You got a little bit of
Yeah, very
tiny.
much.
There's a
I
tiny
don't
bit
have
of
to eat it
salt.
all. I can just pick out what I want from it.
This is just a buffet, but smaller.
Well,
Exactly. Why can't I have a buffet?
it's allowed, isn't it?
You fit into the constraints of my depraved mind. Ah, for me,
Has that ruined it?
I mean, yeah, I was immediately thinking lasagna because I can't get tired of lasagna. But
Lasagna's really good, but
like
it's
you
a
oh,
would
lot
get
of
sick of it.
protein and a lot of cheese, a lot of dairy.
yeah, a lot of
It's
protein, right? Can you think of the gains?
Every day for 3 meals every day.
Yeah, I'd have my breakfast lasagna. My
Lunch
Do
lasagna.
you actually know what I had for my
Eat
lunch
lasagna.
every day last week?
What?
Lasagna.
Oh my god.
oh,
I had a lasagna and I just cut some off and I cold lasagna for my lunch.
Ugh.
oh.
Every day
And then
last week.
there's my
Lovely.
evening lasagna. It's fair. I always have a lasagna with chips. Do you guys have that?
No.
It was
Do you
salad.
just have
Yeah, with salad.
says a lot about us as individuals, doesn't it?
Frank, when was the last time you had a salad?
I don't eat salads.
Mine was last Monday.
I just don't like
I had a
eating them.
tuna salad with potato salad as well.
I just There's nothing to them. I don't like them.
No, you're having the wrong types of salad.
Yeah. You need to put more stuff in your salad.
Just more items.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a lasagna in my next salad.
What about a fruit salad?
A fruit salads are great. Oh, can I just have
Hmm.
fruit salad? A variety of fruit.
You'll be
diet
on the
so
toilet
bad.
constantly.
Yeah, I would be shitting like.
Imagine
What's
just
the-
eating like KFC. Imagine how awful
Oh
you
my
feel.
God, I think I would.
I have a KFC and the next morning I just can't get off the toilet. But that'd be
Oh.
constant.
Nah, what you've got is what's it called? Oh fuck, I've immediately forgotten what it's called. Taco Bell. You gotta eat Taco Bell for the whole fucking rest of your
I
life.
love the way you said Taco Bell.
A taco.
Okay, it's because I enunciate my vowels. You fucking know
There's
this.
no
Oh,
R
okay.
in taco.
Ah, as in A. I enunciate my
There's-
A's. Okay.
You say A, not R.
I hate you. I fucking
Taco
hate.
Bell.
Oh, so when I was little, I would call a bath a bath.
Oh, so you're posh.
Well, I
I
think
bet
it's
you
primarily.
go. I bet you have a garage, not a garage.
I do say garage. I do say that.
Secret Tory.
Well, I think it's because Firstly, I'm very offended you would ever fucking insinuate that. Secondly, I think it's because both my parents were deaf. A lot of the way I learned speech and how to talk was from the TV, and so that was the sort of like my earliest exposure to the English language was a lot of like TV stuff, and a lot of that's proper Queen's English, especially because my dad loved fucking World War II movies. So like it was all like
It's like at uni. There was somebody there. He was from the Netherlands, and he learned English by watching SpongeBob. So he spoke with an American accent. We all thought he was American.
well, yeah, of course, but that's just the way you'd learn that.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I speak pretty Southern sometimes. Like, my fucking dialect is whack. I don't know what the fuck my voice is. Oh.
Yeah, you don't sound Yorkshire. Where I say me and Ben sound very Yorkshire.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
Yeah.
I don't leave Yorkshire a lot, which is quite like
Honestly,
I'm very
I can't tell you the last time I left Yorkshire.
like, but I sound like this. I sound like I don't know where I sound like I'm from. Where would you say I sound like I'm from?
I don't know.
I don't know, really.
You don't really have a distinct.
I can't be
Dialect,
placed.
I
I'm in a world without borders.
I talk. That's like,
Okay.
Can't talk. Making bits.
Shall we go back to food now?
well, yeah, he's
So-
making piss.
Oh, but so
You know, salads. What determines a salad? Could you have a meat salad?
Right, you get a blender, and then you can just put whatever you want in that blender.
I'd-
Can I just have smoothies? But I could just put what I want in that smoothie.
I mean that is a drink. You have metagame this option. That is a drink.
Well, I've sorted it. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
movies for the rest of my life.
Okay,
And
so
what are
you
you
just
getting for your meal? Is that your drink
I'm
on
gonna have
the
a
side?
Sunday lunch blended. Sunday dinner blended. Oh, I forgot to put my
no.
phone on silent.
You have one meal that you're allowed for the rest of your life. So what's
Yeah.
the meal you're gonna have in between your like mix
Smoothie
your
meals.
your smoothie that's a blend of all your proteins you need for the day? Because at this point it is just your. Is there a food do you think you wouldn't get bored of?
Salmon.
Salmon,
I
really?
really like salmon, and it's good for you. Plus, you can have salmon in lots of different ways. If we talked about being able to cook it,
Okay,
my mum
so
makes a really good salmon dish. I don't know what it's called, but it's got like herbs and stuff on it. Are we allowed herbs as well? Are we allowed seasoning on our food?
yeah, you're allowed seasoning. You're making one specific meal, and that one specific meal you are having for the
Oh,
rest.
so I
of
can't
your
have
life.
like salmon as in like cold salmon, uncooked salmon, or cooked salmon. I can't
Well,
do it different ways. I've got to do it
No,
the same way.
It
each
is
time.
one specific way.
Oh fuck! You've made it awful. You pot noodles.
It's just
You
a
make
pot
them the
noodle.
same way. You just put
One
water in
flavour.
them.
What
Hmm?
flavour?
Oh yeah, what flavour of pot noodle you having for the rest of
Well,
your fucking?
So there's only one flavour you're allowed.
I'd have all the flavors because they're all made the same way. They're all the same.
No.
meal.
That's like saying right. You can make a spaghetti bolognese, but change the pasta because you still
Okay,
cook
I'd
it
have
the same.
beef and tomato pot noodles.
Beef and tomato,
Oh.
really? Not
Yeah.
chicken and mushroom. You
Chicken
fucking.
and mushroom's overrated. It really
I
is.
don't like chicken
you.
mushroom.
The mushrooms are
Why
really
am I
just...
I prefer
surrounded
the
by
original curry over chicken and mushroom.
No, but
original
you're all
curry?
wrong.
Fuck off.
I like
First,
the Bombay Bad Boy. That one's quite nice.
No,
uh,
there's like
okay, do you
spicy
know
and
this?
then there's just like
Do
just
you know-
liquid
Yeah.
spice.
Bombay
It
Bad
just
Boy is
gets
too
everywhere.
spicy for me.
Sorry, you're both white.
That is true. We are very like. When I go to Nando's, do order lemon and herb. That's
I've never
because
been to Nando's, guys.
we should go to
I've
Nando's.
never been either.
How many
Wait,
times do
neither
we
of you?
walk past Nando's and I say we should go to
Yeah,
Nando's?
the Nando's in the right to our gym. We always say it.
Yeah, we walk back. We walk out of the gym. We go like, "There's a Nando's over there."
Yeah, should we go?
We never do.
No, overrated. I bet.
How do you know? You've never been there.
So everyone's
going to
hyping it up,
Nando's.
so I know it's not going to be that good.
We're gonna go to Nando's at some point. My hair is fucking freaking out.
Why don't you cut it? I'd have your hair as a meal every day.
Oh,
I'd have a hair baked into a cake.
oh.
We could make
Have-
a
have
lot of
you-
hair cake. We could make a lot of hair cake out of my hair. That's the
We're
anniversary special.
really going to talk about hair cake.
We shouldn't.
We're not.
Ben, have you seen hair cake? I don't see you as the
No.
sort of person who watched these sort of YouTube videos growing up.
No, I don't think I
You've
have.
not seen hair
Oh,
cake?
that's weird to say that Filthy Frank was us growing up.
Oh yeah, it was.
That's
I know he's a
weird.
musician.
Yeah, that's
good
a
musician
very
as well.
yeah. Man, Pink Guy was my favorite album.
Ben's just like, what the fuck are they talking about?
I know. I don't know.
You don't know
Oh,
Filthy
my
Frank?
I never watched him.
Max Mofo. iDubbbz. You Ben.
No.
Fuck, you never lived.
I'm very disappointed in you, Ben. I want you to know that.
I can live with it.
What do you mean? And you know what food you're living with? What food are you living with? We all need to pick a food.
I'd just go salmon. I'd have it.
You know, I feel like I get
just
sick of
grilled
it.
salmon. Because I
Sick of
can,
it.
I can have skin as well if I get bored. Could have it with
That's-
skin and without skin. Sometimes I just leave the skin. Sometimes a bit of skin. Have it a bit crispier.
That's fair. That's fair.
Plus, salmon's just good for you. There's a lot of nutrients in it as well.
I would just say salad because I can have lots of things in that.
That's true. You can have a wide variety of like individual things. So you're like,
Yeah, I can pick each day what I want
Then
to eat
you're not
out of
making
it.
it the same way each time. If you're having different
No,
ingredients, you're
it's
making
gonna be
different
the
stuff.
exact same ingredients. There's gonna be loads of ingredients in it. I just get to pick what I want to eat out of it each time.
he's only eating like half his food each day. He's doing it.
Yeah.
in
How much
different
is this salad
combinations.
going to cost you to make daily?
Well,
What
I'm
am I
assuming
paying for it?
he's in a cursed reality, George. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to pay for it. It's
So you get free food? Oh, forget we get free
It's
food.
not like I have to
I'll
buy any other kind of
I'll
food.
have
All I'm buying is
lobster.
that.
just lobster.
lobster.
Do you
Just gonna
like
eat
lobster?
lobster for the
It's
rest
alright.
of
I've had lobster. It just tastes like crab. I'll be honest.
They
Not
are
lying,
just-
it just tastes like crab.
I mean that. I don't know. I'm not surprised.
I've had exclusive. I've actually had swordfish before. Swordfish is not very nice.
I mean, it's very
It's
sharp.
very. I want to say coarse. It made my tongue sore. Like,
It's 'cause of the
actually
edge.
eating it.
Were you eating the
Because of the
blade?
edge.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
why are you eating
I'll
the
be honest with you,
blade?
it just tastes like gone off tuna. Like a
Yeah.
proper tuna steak. Oh, a tuna
Okay.
steak, actually. Oh, tuna steak's nice.
I've made myself hungry doing this. This was a terrible question to pick.
Oh,
Drink
it's
your
about
pot
lunchtime.
noodle and
Shall we go get lunch?
Ben
That's
just wants to end episode.
Ben-
How long
Ben
have I been
wants to-
doing it for? Ben, you keep track of time.
So about to hit the hour and a half mark in 15 seconds.
All
in
right.
15 seconds.
It's
Fuck!
a very good
I want
episode today,
lasagna!
guys. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode of the Confused Yorkshireman podcast. I've been George.
I've been Ben.
Fuck. I've been Frank.
This has been Ben and Frank. Frank to my there. Ben to my there.
No, he did the opposite way.
Oh,
The
it's the
opposite
opposite one.
But yeah, if you've enjoyed, please do give us a like on whatever podcast system you're on. If you don't like it, please give us a dislike and a very angry email to our email that we've not set up yet, but probably put it somewhere.
That's
And
another job I have to do now.
Yeah, now we got
What's
that
that?
could be my job. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all tune in next week. for
Watch on
the next
YouTube if you want to see our faces. So.
And
I don't know
watch
why
on
you
YouTube
would.
if you want to see our faces, but there's not much going on there, I'll be honest.
My
But yeah.
face
Well,
currently
speak for
has a
yourself.
spot right here.
But yep, goodbye guys.
Bye.